Retroactive interference is a type of memory disruption that occurs when new information makes it harder to remember old information. This happens because recently learnt material overwrites or weakens earlier memories, making them more difficult to retrieve. Retroactive interference is common when similar types of information compete for space in memory, such as learning a new language, updating passwords, or studying for multiple subjects. The more recent the new learning, the stronger its effect on older memories. Now let's look at some examples of retroactive interference in everyday life. A common example of retroactive interference is forgetting an old phone number after memorizing a new one. The newer number takes priority, making the previous one harder to recall. Another example occurs in language learning. If someone learns French and then starts studying Italian, they may accidentally use Italian words when trying to recall French vocabulary. This also happens in academics, where students may struggle to remember material from an earlier chapter after learning new concepts. These examples show how new information can replace or weaken older memories. Now let's explore some causes of retroactive interference. Retroactive interference happens because the brain prioritizes new information, which can overwrite older memories. One major cause is similarity. When new learning closely resembles old knowledge, it becomes harder to keep them separate. For example, if two historical events have similar names or dates, remembering the older one may become more difficult after learning about the newer one. Another cause is repeated exposure to new information, which strengthens its memory trace while pushing older memories aside. Additionally, lack of rehearsal for older information increases the likelihood of interference, as unused memories tend to fade over time. Now let's examine the effects of retroactive interference. Retroactive interference can lead to forgetting important details, especially in situations where multiple pieces of information need to be remembered. This can cause mistakes, such as recalling the wrong password or misremembering instructions from an earlier lesson. Another effect is the need for extra review and practice. When older knowledge is weakened by new learning, people may have to spend more time relearning or reinforcing past material. In some cases, retroactive interference can make it difficult to retain long-term memories, especially when new experiences continuously replace older ones. Now let's compare retroactive interference to a similar concept, proactive interference. While retroactive interference occurs when new information disrupts old memories, proactive interference happens when old information interferes with learning new material. In retroactive interference, learning a new phone number makes it harder to recall the old one. In proactive interference, the old number keeps coming to mind instead of the new one. Both types of memory interference highlight how the brain struggles to manage competing information, especially when the details are similar. Understanding these processes can help improve memory retention through techniques like spaced repetition and active recall.